The Blue Lock Chapter 307 leaks just dropped, and it is titled Bunny. This chapter features Isagi undergoing the training assignment that Ego had set out for him. I honestly thought that this chapter was one of the craziest chapters I've read in a while, as it has brought back one of the long-awaited characters of the manga, as well as an introduction of a very new character that will most likely be very important in the U20 World Cup. With that being said, I don't want to spoil anything too much, so let's get into the video. Also bear in mind that the translation may be a little off since the chapter hasn't been officially translated yet. So in our first page we see a plane that is flying to somewhere, and the narrative text states that Isagi heads to the land of soccer and passion with his artistic homework, and that a new ego awaits. We then see Isagi all suited up with a suitcase in his hands, saying that he is heir. We see Isagi walking with his suitcase, talking to himself, stating that he is in Barcelona, Spain. He then has a flashback saying that he was inside the cardboard box sent by Ego, a plane ticket and a football match ticket as well. Isagi states in the next page that his assignment from Ego was to learn about World Soccer Live. He continues to say that he might as well do a little sightseeing while he's at it. After that, Isagi looks at his ticket, then goes on to say that there are tickets for also England, Germany and other countries, but today's game is the Spanish League's Copa del Rey final. We see on the ticket it says FC Barça versus Chicor, which seems to be basically Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid in real life. Isagi continues on with an internal monologue saying that the match coming is a super intense one in one of the world's top 5 leagues, La Liga, and how Barça is the team that Bachira and Otoya chose during the Neo Egoist League. Isagi firmly holds his ticket in happiness, saying that he is really excited. Isagi's stomach starts growling and then he states that he would have to eat before going to the game. We see him enter the store, then he begins to investigate the menu. He realizes that he doesn't understand the word that is on the menu because it's all in Spanish. He looks to his side and sees a mysterious guy eating something and states that it looks delicious. He goes up to the mysterious character saying hello. The guy replies in Spanish saying hola. Isagi replies back in Spanish, taking note of the guy's scar on his face. He then goes on to ask him about the food he was eating. He repeats again and inquires what's the name of the dish. The guy says that he can hear him, as he points to his heirs saying it's called Audi Fu. I'm pretty sure they have similar devices that are used in the Neo Egoist League in order for the players from different countries to understand each other. The guy states that the dish is pasta paella, and I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He continues speaking, asking Isagi where he's from, and Isagi answers by saying Japan. The guy then queries what Isagi is doing all the way in Spain. Isagi states that he wants to learn football to be the best in the world, and continues to say that he wants to learn more and more. The mysterious character asks Isagi if he likes football, and he replies saying that the more he learns about it, the more he has come to love it lately. Like how tactics and formations have their own history, or how the evolution of modern soccer has accelerated thanks to scientific analysis. He then goes on to say that it is very cool. Isagi continues in excitement, saying that it's the individuality of each player that shapes the trend of an era. He says that's why he's super excited for tonight's match. The guy replies saying that Isagi is lucky, and Isagi counter replies saying that there must be one or two things that he really likes also, right? The guy says that he feels like he used to, but it's been a long time since he's really understood himself. The mystery character jokingly states that when he sees someone like Isagi, who looks so happy, it makes him want to die. Isagi gets very confused and says that somehow he feels like he said something wrong, apologizing after. The guy replies saying that he's the one who's wrong, and it is not Isagi's fault as he was just being overly sentimental. Isagi replies back saying that ever since they first met, he had always smiled like he was lonely. The guy loses his smile and goes silent for a second before saying Isagi's remark was super rude. Isagi apologizes and says, but seriously, that face of yours. Honestly, don't know what he meant by that, but I'll just continue going on with the translations. The mystery man decides to head out, saying that he will go first, and thanks Isagi for the fun time. He then tells him to have a nice football trip. Isagi replies saying gracias and goes on to ask the cashier for agua de ruda or rue water, which seems to be an inedible aromatic water made from the rue plant. The mystery guy states that Isagi will die if he drinks that water as he leaves the restaurant. We go on to a different scene where we see a massive stadium. Isagi states that the mysterious guy was a liar and that was a really close call. I was honestly confused with the translation here, but it shouldn't affect the main point of the chapter too much. We see the crowd cheering and Isagi asks himself if he made it in time. He then goes on to say that this is the passion of the historic Spanish league. We see the crowd roaring even more as Isagi continues his monologue, saying that this is the sacred ground of the world's greatest football. Isagi stands up looking at the crowded stadium in awe as he states that he too will someday be there on the field playing. The commentator states that players from both teams are finally entering the field, and we see the Barca fans shouting and roaring Lavinio's name. Isagi is mildly surprised to see Lavinio and states that he is super popular and how it's crazy that these superstars was really played in Blue Lock. The match kicks off and we see a familiar face in a Bacha kit in control of the ball. Isagi, very surprised, says that this guy is the one from earlier, and he then asks himself what is going on and says that this is the lying guy from before. Isagi goes on to search his phone, asking himself if he's a regular for Barcha. Looking at his phone screen, we see a profile of this character and his name is Bunny Iglesias. He's a 19-year-old forward who is 6'3", 66 kilograms, which is around 163 pounds, and a core player in FC Barcha's attacking lineup. The phone screen continues to state that he's a key figure in both scoring and assisting from the beginning of the season. Lavinio shouts Bunny's name, and after that, the crowd starts cheering the name Bunny. We see the guy jump to trap the ball, and Isagi is astonished with what he is seeing, saying that he has an amazing jumping ability. The player shoots the ball and scores for Barcha in the Copa del Rey final. The commentators exclaim, "Super golazo, Bunny Iglesias." With that, we finally get the official introduction card where we see this player is Spain's U20 New Gen 11 forward Bunny Iglesias. Now in the last page, we see Isagi acknowledging Bunny as a potential rival that he will face in the U20 World Cup. He goes on to say that there are still world-class talents that he doesn't know are waiting for him out there. In the next panel, we have a huge surprise as we see Itoshi Sai, the man himself, sitting down hitting the Sasuke Uchiha pose. Itoshi Sai seems to be assessing the game that Bunny is playing in. Narrative text states that in the abyss of his eyes, boiling fighting blazed fiercely. Once again, something stirs in Sai's heart. And with that, the chapter ends. I honestly thought that this chapter was absolutely insane. The fact that Itoshi Sai seems to have that much hate for Bunny, the new Gen 11 player, already shows how much of a threat he will be to Japan in the U20 World Cup. I think it's basically unofficially confirmed that he was the one who changed Itoshi Sai's dream of wanting to be the best striker in the world. I think that Sai will join the Japan's U20 roster and team up with Isagi and the rest of Blue Lock to go up against Bunny and Spain. Do you guys think that Bunny will be the one to stop Japan in the upcoming World Cup, or is he just a stepping stone for Goat Sagi to conquer? Let me know your thoughts about this and the chapter in general in the comment section down below. If you also enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. The next chapter is titled Pride Tenking, and we most likely won't have a break for next week. With that being said, see y'all in the next one.